Sometimes having faith is actually hard. Take Psalm 13:1 as evidence, where David says, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me?" With situations many of us face, the ongoing blight across the world, it's probably safe for me to say you've also felt or currently feel like David did, and many others across the Bible. It's also probably safe to say this feeling is clearly normal. You're not alone. But simply admitting that faith is hard in of itself doesn't resolve the unwanted feeling.
I'm losing it!
So what should one do? How do you bridge the gap between unbelief that stems from things like general suffering, misinformation, unanswered prayers, just to name a few, and all the way on the other side, unyielding belief? Well, as strange as it sounds, SpongeBob's Pickle episode actually reveals a blueprint for overcoming the struggles we can find ourselves having when trying to walk by faith. The episode starts off as another day at the Krusty Krab, where SpongeBob is enjoying what he ultimately has faith and belief in, his fry cooking skills.
Lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, and bun, in that order.
The story progresses to what I call the event that rocked his belief. His encounter with a character called Bubble Bass, who comes into the Krusty Krab solely looking to eat free food by complaining at the food he has been provided, which he proceeds to do so when presented with a special Krabby Patty by SpongeBob, claiming that he had forgotten the pickles.
Only one thing. You forgot the pickles!
And due to fry cooking being about 90% of SpongeBob's life, as you can imagine, this one event continues to cause disarray for SpongeBob during work.
Shoe, mustard, pen, but no!
As the foundation he had built his life on at this moment in time seemed to fade away. Despite this scene being mostly hair for laughs, in actuality, when applied in the context we're talking about hair, mirrors a deep reality at some point to different degrees of actuality we face in life. One moment everything feels certain, your life feels like a completed puzzle. The next moment it seems to follow that maybe you never had the right pieces to begin with, now seeming plausible that the foundation you built might have been rotten from the start, which is where confusion often begins. And so what was once a worldview with clarity is now something you start to question, doubt, or even more. And the reality is that if it stopped there, only producing bad fruit, I'd honestly say we'd probably all be going outside. However, scripture like James 1:2-4 says otherwise, letting us know that within experiences like doubt, greater good is at work, which even here in a very simple form becomes more apparent as the episode continues. The episode continues with Mr. Krabs deciding that SpongeBob should go home and rest, considering his state of mind, which to say the least isn't looking too good.
Krabs, the front door is missing! Oh.
His confidence is so shaken that it starts affecting other areas of his life, leaving him convinced that he can't do anything right. With the Krusty Krab struggling without his star fry cook, Mr. Krab takes matters into his own hands. His solution? Go over to SpongeBob and go back to the basics, or rather the foundation. He lays out each key ingredient of the Krabby Patty on a mat, guiding SpongeBob through the foundations of fry cooking step by step. After days of waiting for SpongeBob to make a move, he finally seems ready, but just when it looks like he's about to overcome his struggle, he breaks down.
Can't do it! I can't do it, Mr. Krabs! I'm a failure!
However, in an unexpected turn, this breakdown marks the moment where he actually regains his confidence. With his belief restored, the episode moves toward its final showdown, SpongeBob vs. Bubble Bass, the redemption match. Everything seems to be going smoothly until SpongeBob is accused for forgetting the pickles again, but this time he's not the same shake and fry cook from before. Thanks to the solid foundation he's rebuilt, he knows something isn't right, and sure enough, he exposes Bubble Bass as a fraud, revealing that not only was he lying this time, but he had been lying the whole time. With his confidence fully restored, SpongeBob reassures his position as Krusty Krab's legendary fry cook, and so a happy ending that ties into a deeper truth, the need for a strong foundation. I liken this to Matthew 7:24-27, where Jesus at the end of the Sermon on the Mount shares a parable about two builders, one who builds his house on the rock, the other on sand. When storm comes, only one house stands, and I'm pretty sure it's clear which one does. So what is this rock? As Matthew 7:24 says, it's hearing and practicing the words of Jesus. In a lesser sense, SpongeBob's journey mirrors this truth. His downfall came from a shaken foundation, but once he reinforced it, everything changed. If even SpongeBob could rebuild his confidence and overcome doubt, how much more can we walk in unshaken faith when we build our lives on the true rock? But if it was that simple, there'd probably be limited need for this discussion. Life isn't as straightforward as an animated TV show. It comes with hardship, heartache, tribulations, steps into the unknown. Yet the core truth remains: building a strong foundation, still being what's needed. So how do you continue to build on this foundation of faith? By understanding that faith isn't just about how you feel, it's about the evidence that substantiates what you believe. Hebrews 11:1 states, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." In this regard, you're more fortunate than SpongeBob. His faith is purely based on confidence, which, while helpful here, clearly has the potential to be inconsistent. No pun intended, but I'd even go as far as saying blind, like throwing darts in the dark, which funny enough is attested by another episode of SpongeBob Neptune's Spatula, where doubts play a key role again. Human confidence is fallible, but biblical faith is rooted in undeniable evidence. The good that God has already done in your life, the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecies, the empty tomb, the eyewitness accounts of the resurrected Jesus, and the testimonies or transformations of many in the past and present, which meets the basis of both personal and intellectual evidence, helping materialize answers to questions one may have, yet can still and should still be further built up with additional pieces as time goes on. But even with this, I want to throw you an interesting yet sound thought exercise. What about if the episode ended here?
You failed again, SpongeBob loser pants.
Doubts resurfaced, foundation shaken, collapsed and left to ruin. Perhaps this even resonates with where you are right now. How do you move forward from here when the lighthouse, your guiding light, seems to have vanished, when you're left standing in the wreckage of what once felt certain? In this situation here, what should one do? The only thing to do: first, don't dismiss the struggle, acknowledge it, come to terms with the fact that what you feel is real. Second, remember, you are not alone. The word says that there is nothing new under the sun. You see, the weight of doubt, failure and despair, it's been felt before, and even temporarily could be felt again. Even Paul, one of the pillars of the faith, wrestled with something that tormented him. A thorn in his flesh. 3 times he pleaded for the Lord to take it away, and yet Jesus responded, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That truth is where our hope lies. That even in moments where our faith feels fragile, when we're struggling to hold on, His grace is enough. Which takes us to point 3, that with promises as such, we can do more than just wish. Like SpongeBob, who returned home confused but ready to make change, we too can return, not to doubt, but to our secret place. To rebuild, but this time permanently. Not on shifting sand, but on solid rock. Long term, pointing us to joy, not because we have all the answers, but because tribulations are expected, but we should have cheer because He has overcome the world. If you made it to this point in this video, then as always, I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was able to hit the mark, maybe even exceed what you were expecting. And so if you did like it, also leave this video a like, because I know I'll definitely appreciate it, and also the algorithm might just appreciate it too. If you got some time, you want to stick around, then a video at some point over here should come on the screen, which I know you'll definitely appreciate. But if not, then until next time, take care, stay blessed, and peace.